Hi and welcome to this video. In this video we are talking about top 10 mistakes that couples commit while planning their wedding. Planning a wedding is just like I've said before, can be strenuous, draining, and sometimes the challenges might be overwhelming and you find yourself doing some mistakes. So in this video we are only focusing on 10 of those mistakes, and if you stick to the end I will be giving bonus points, 2 of them, on the mistakes my husband and I did while planning our own. It's not those ones are not among the 10, so it's just 2 bonus points, and I hope that you'll get value from this video if you're planning to maybe do your wedding in the future. In the near future, you'll be able to avoid some of these mistakes, because well, it's better you learn from other people's experiences than going through the mistakes yourself, right? Yeah, so if you know anyone who is in this journey of planning their wedding, make sure to share this video with them so that they don't commit these mistakes, and that way they will have an easier plan for their wedding. But just before that, I want today to appreciate the people who have commented in my previous videos, and I'm not saying all of them, I'm just going to mention today 6 people. And number 1 is Ekra. Thank you so much for the comment you gave me. The other person is Victory. Thank you so much. It's very encouraging when you see people appreciating the work you're doing. I also appreciate Salome. Thank you so much for your comment. I want to appreciate Anastasia. Thank you very much for coming back and commenting several times. Thank you very much. I want to also appreciate Ruben for your comment on one of my videos. Thank you very, very much. And the 6th person I want to appreciate is Agnes. That is my mom. Thank you very much. It's good to know that family is watching and they appreciate what I am doing, right? Yeah, so make sure to comment. I'll be giving out shout outs to the people who are commenting on my videos. And yeah, you might be the next person I'm commenting. I'm giving a shout out to in the next video, so keep the comments coming, all right? And thank you in advance, even as you plan to comment on this video, all right? Now we get started. Number 1 mistake that couples commit is not setting a budget. Budgeting, as I've said in some of my previous videos, is very key, especially for an event, and a wedding is a big deal. What happens when you don't set a budget, or you don't set a realistic one, or you don't stick to it, or the budget is not clear? And when I'm talking about this budget, it's not just for the event, it's also for the personal needs towards the wedding. If you only have these things in your head, you don't write them down, you don't decide on the amounts, what happens is you'll find yourselves probably overspending, you find yourselves under pressure, you find yourselves missing out on some things because you did not even remember them because they were not in the budget. So some of those mistakes make the event more stressful and the planning stressful, and that is why I have done a budget tracker, by the way. If you're interested in getting one, it covers the traditional wedding, the wedding ceremony, all the necessities as a couple you need for your wedding, and also all that you need for your honeymoon. It covers all those things. It's an Excel sheet. It has all the formulas in it, and it has so because of the formulas, you just need to key in and it calculates for you, and there's a summary for you on one sheet. You just can see, once you key in the others on the summary, you just come and see whether you're on a surplus or you're going into a deficit. So get yourself a copy. It's very cheap. Check the description and trust me, it will help you when it comes to planning your wedding. All right, as I said in my previous video, in maybe 2 or 4 videos from this one, I'll be doing a short maybe a short video on that budget tracker, just for you to see all the details that are in it and how to use it. And yeah, get yourself one. It will help your planning process way easier. All right, once I do that video, I will also link it in the description of this video. The second one is underestimating time needed. Planning a wedding needs time. And one mistake couples do is underestimating the amount of time you need for the planning process. And that is why, like I said before in another video, that one problem I have seen and challenge I've seen couples do is doing everything the last week of the wedding, the last week towards the wedding, and then you realize there are so many undone things. You get so overwhelmed that you just give up and let things just flow. But if you start planning early, you will have less pressure. You will be able to relax towards the wedding. You have less pressure, so you're able to have a clear mind towards your wedding day. All right. And for example, when it comes to planning, you can plan things and even do some purchases months before your wedding, like shoes. Your feet won't get any longer, right? Or any bigger. Shoes, you can buy those things months before your wedding. Jewelry, you know, there are things you don't need to wait until a month to your wedding or 2 months to your wedding to get. So the earlier you plan, the better. Give yourselves a buffer, like make sure you plan everything to be done like a month to the wedding, so that if anything flips over, you still have like 2 weeks to the wedding to just finalize on the plans. So that is the other mistake that couples make, underestimating the time needed. All right, so don't do that mistake. Plan and plan early in advance. The third mistake that couples commit is focusing too much on trends, and that makes someone either be under pressure and even making the whole process not realistic and causing conflict, because when you focus on what is trending and all, you might find whatever is trending is not even your taste. You might find whatever is trending is expensive. You can't even meet some of those demands, but because you're focusing so much on this is what these couples did, this is what this other couple did, with that you end up focusing on these things. Your wedding doesn't even feel like it's your own, and you just don't even enjoy because you are under pressure, probably because you couldn't afford some things, or you are under pressure because yes, you got those things, but those things are not within your budget. So focusing too much on trends is a mistake. Try to make the process as personalized as possible. You can look at trends, but work with what works for you as a couple. Don't focus on other people's weddings, other people's, especially celebrities and all, because some of those things you might think that they have gotten money from their pockets and all, but it's probably people have given them as a way of advertising and all that. So be realistic, and that will help you just have an easy time while planning your wedding. The fourth mistake that couples commit is poor communication. When the two of you are not communicating, you are not on the same page on what exactly you want for this big day of yours, honestly, it leads to conflict. It causes you people to not enjoy the whole process of planning because you're not on the same page. So let your partner know what you need for the wedding. Let your partner know, this is what I want, and I'm frustrated because of this, I'm frustrated because of that. I'm glad you have done this, I'm glad we are doing this and that. Being on the same page on everything you know, suggesting things, recommending things, and working together as a team. Because if this event works, both of you will have a good time. If this event doesn't work well, it is one of the memories you will be having all through your life, because you cannot redo that wedding, right? So communicate, be on the same page as a couple. Don't overlook some things. Let your partner know whatever is going on. So you can also set some dates to just discuss this wedding process planning, just the two of you, all right? To be on the same page. The sixth thing is overcomplicating the wedding day. By overcomplicating, I mean putting too many activities, trying to bring in so many people in the program and so many things that have to be done, and just making the whole thing very complicated. That would increase pressure, that would increase confusion, that would increase stress for you guys. So like I always say, keep it simple. Keep your wedding day very simple. Try to avoid having too many things, because at the end of the day, what really matters is the two of you get married. So if that is all you do, you just go get married. That's it. Don't complicate the whole thing. Don't make it very complicated. Make it as simple as possible. And that is basically on everything, even on the services that you need. If it is deco, the simpler it is, the better. And the simpler it is, the cheaper for you guys, right? If it is sound, if it is the outfits you guys have, if it is whatever it is, the simpler it is, the less stressful it will be for you guys. So don't overcomplicate this whole thing. Make it simple and easy. The simpler it is, the more you will enjoy it. All right, and just before I go to the next point, if you have not yet subscribed to this channel, please subscribe and help this channel grow. Help us to reach more people, because once you subscribe, then we can be recommended to more people that are interested in this kind of content as well. All right, and you can also share with a friend or two who are in the process of planning their wedding, so that they can avoid these mistakes. Also, if you're finding it valuable even for yourself, give us a thumbs up. That encourages us to continue going, to continue showing up for you, and to continue researching and getting as much knowledge as possible to come back and equip you in this journey towards getting married. All right, and also sharing my own experiences in the process I've already gone through. All right, so give us a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe. Thank you very much. The next point is skipping plan B. As I've mentioned before, things happen. You might find the weather you had thought would be is not what actually happens. So it is important that you have a plan B. Or you might find other chaos that happen. So sometimes it's important to have a plan B, but also be flexible. Even if you don't have a plan B, you can be flexible. You might have planned for a sunny day, but then it is raining and you didn't have even a plan B. If you don't have a plan B for something that has happened, then be flexible and still try to enjoy. All right, you might find that you had decided to get this kind of vehicle for the bride or for the groom, or for the bridal team, and that vehicle is not available on the day of your wedding. So what do? Do you decide not to get married? No. Be flexible. No, things happen. Chaos might come, but be very open to changes that might come. All right, be flexible. Don't say it's a must that things be done a certain way, or things be done in this, or this song must be done for me to walk down the aisle. Okay, sometimes you can make such demands, but what if the DJ forgot it, you know? Anyway, I'm just saying be flexible in case things don't work as you had anticipated, but on the other hand, you should have a plan B for the things that you can have a plan B for. The next one is overlooking legal requirements. For you to get married in any country, there are laws that you have to abide by, right? And so it's important for you to first know the timelines by which maybe you should go. Like for our country, I know you should go to the AG, get those certificates. Nowadays you apply online, then go for the interview and all that physically, right? So get to know the process for your country and the timelines, because like for Kenya, I know you need to have the announcements done 21 days to your wedding. This will help you avoid delays, because there are people who might not join you together if you don't have the certificate. I know that there are countries that allow for dummy certificates to be signed on the wedding day, but I know Kenya, I don't know whether they are dummies really. So to avoid the stress of looking for these certificates the last minute and being under a lot of stress, try to know the process early in advance, you know, and start the process that early so that you don't find yourselves in a place where you are stressed towards your wedding day because you don't have the certificate and the day is here and you need to abide by these laws, because, well, you will need that legal document to officially get married, right? So make sure you are aware and you abide. Take your time and abide by those laws so that you don't get inconvenienced on your wedding day. The next one is trying to please everyone. Remember, this is your wedding day. It is not your family's wedding. It is not your friend's wedding. It is not your, I don't know who else wedding. It is just your wedding. It is good to accommodate suggestions by your family, suggestions by your friends. It is good to accommodate, but don't try to please everyone to your own expense. Like you do things that you don't want to do on your own wedding day, because it's your day and you can't repeat it, and they just have to understand that it's your day. You accommodate what you can, but don't go beyond what you can handle, because there is no need for you to be gloomy on your wedding. There is no need for you to always look back and wish you did things differently, right? So you are the priority as a couple, but make sure to accommodate people so that you also have good relationships with friends and family even after the wedding, all right? But don't go pleasing everyone. If there are things that are being demanded that you're not okay with, just communicate. Let the people know, I appreciate your suggestion, but I'm sorry, I'm not going to be able to do that. This is the plan I have, and it is because of 1, 2, 3. But there are also things that you might just, you don't need to explain. Sometimes you don't need to explain. Over time, I've realized, by the way, there are things you just don't need to keep explaining to people. So you can as well just do what you want to do, and they'll be okay with it when they know you just did what you had to do for your day. So then that mistake I've just said is, don't please everyone. Don't try to please everyone. It will be stressful for you, and you might not enjoy your day because it will not feel personal. You'll not feel like you own it, yeah, because you've tried to fit in everyone. Last one, the 10th one, is ignoring self-care. You need to take care of your mental health. You need to take care of yourself even as you plan your wedding, because, as I've said, it can be very draining. So you need to be sober. You need to talk to someone, talk to each other, but you can also talk to someone else when things are stressful. You can offload the pressure on someone else and let someone else help you through. Delegate as much as you can so that you have free time to focus on yourself. Yeah, so make sure you are like I said in my previous video, make sure you are having some time to just have dates that have nothing to do with planning the wedding. That will help you. That will help you focus on yourself and not be very stressed. And also, you don't need to put your life on hold. Continue living your life. If you're going to work, continue going to work. If you're studying, continue studying. You know, especially if you have been planning over time, so that if you're not planning the last minute, when you start planning early, you can now continue concentrating on your life, because this is just an event. And I said, as I said in one of the videos in this playlist, wedding is just probably 4-5 hour event. It's not a life thing. It's not like a lifetime. Marriage is actually what you need to focus on more. All right. Yes. Now I go to the bonus points on mistakes. 2 mistakes my husband did. Of course, there are more, but I will just share 2 in this video. And one of them is we did not have a core committee. So we had that committee, the big committee, where it was his, we had family, we also had friends, but then we did not have a small committee where, like I said, but they watch that video on the wedding committee, because I talked about this, where you have this big committee of like 30 people, but you need to have another small committee, probably with the treasurer and the chairperson. And so one thing we didn't do is we never had a meeting with the treasurer or the chair. We didn't have a sit down, really, and that was a mistake. As a result, we only looked at the big picture. We only planned on the big wedding. Yes, on the big picture. We used to have meetings, just the 2 of us, and the problem is, there's no problem with that, but for us the problem was we did not have prior experience in planning a wedding. We had not been really involved in a wedding committee before. I had attended, I think, just one. So I don't know whether he had attended. I think he had attended, but we had not really been involved in planning a wedding. So we didn't have much experience, right? And then we didn't have other people like sitting down with us after this big committee, sitting down and going to the details. So now when we would sit down, we would focus on the big picture. As a result, we missed out on some of the details. For example, like bridal team rehearsals, we didn't do them. So basically we didn't do, we just sent the songs to our bridal team and told them these are the songs. And I remember the eve of our wedding, I just arrived to the guest house where I was spending the night with the ladies, and I was like, hey, by the way, guys, have you practiced? And they're like, yeah. And hey, I didn't even, you know, like, I feel I failed them because I wasn't really involved in helping and making it easy for them, especially on that part. On rehearsals, we would have done them, you know. Anyway, the other detail I can mention is we did not review. There are things that you need to review, you know. Maybe let me mention some. You might need to, if you're having your gown redone, if you're maybe having, I'm not saying these are mistakes that happened, but I'm just mentioning some of the things that you can review. Maybe there's a supplier who is supposed to do something, you review before the day, you know. So there are some things we did not review. And I'm not saying my gown or something had a problem. No, my gown was good. But basically, I'm giving examples of things you need to review. So some of these things we did not review, and as a result, there are some things we were disappointed in. The second mistake we did is we did not have a proper plan for our honeymoon. Hey? So we planned, my husband had planned where we would go after the wedding. So we had a place, we went that weekend. But because I had exams, we were to go and then come back early the next week. I revise a bit, do the exams. I think our wedding was on Saturday. My exams, I think, were on Wednesday or Thursday, right? So the plan was we go for that weekend, take a break, I come do my exams, and then we go for the honeymoon. But because we did not do booking of a hotel, we had not done planning for travel after now my exams. When we got back home, I did my exams and we never went anywhere. We would leave, go out, you know, come back, and then we were just tired, and I had to move my things from my house to now this house we are now living in. It was just hard, so we decided to stay home. We didn't go for the honeymoon. So please, for couples, make sure you plan for your honeymoon in advance. And that is why in the budget tracker, I have put for you the details for the honeymoon, the things you need to plan for in advance and budget for them. Do the booking of the hotel before and just do all the plans before, because that is the mistake we did, and that costed us not, you know, going for that dream honeymoon we had planned for. All right, yeah, so those are some of the mistakes. I hope you have picked one or two that you can maybe work on, that you avoid making the same mistake. And I hope you share with someone who is in the process of planning their wedding, just to make sure they don't have a difficult time. And if you have not watched all the videos in this playlist for steps towards your wedding, please make sure to hit the link in the description so that you get all the good content I have already done in this series. Thank you very much, and God bless you. I hope to see you in the next video.